Paladin. Oh, damn. Oh, they nerfed all of it, dog. They nerfed all of it. Let's talk about what the change was and why it got brought back and why this was so important. When patch 2.4 first drops, you have the addition of radial damage getting a flat scale percentage increase according to distance. So you take total distance down to distance 0, and every 1% increase, or every 1% you get closer, you get 1% additional damage. Why was this so powerful? Why did all of a sudden Dragon Hand of Justice become way too powerful? To understand this, you need to know two things. One, how big a screen is, and two, how much adding an overall multiplier does to your damage. A level 44 Holy Fire, so from Hand of Justice, Dragon, has a radius of 32.6 yards. A radius of 32.6 yards. What does that mean? This is a yard measurement according to the new resolution of the game that is showing you the radial distance to the edge of the screen. Your screen is just about 32.6 yards wide, 34 yards tall, and 44 yards to the corner. What does that mean? If your Holy Fire's radius is 32 yards, that means that at the edge of your width screen, monsters are already halfway towards your maximum damage. So your aura was doing 50% additional flat damage on top of all of its other calculations if they were at the edge of your screen here. If they were at the edge of the top or bottom of your screen, they were very close. So you're getting about 48% additional damage on top of your normal radial damage. And then at the corners of your screen, you were basically getting 33% additional damage. If they just peeked in at the corner right here, your Holy Fire was already doing 33% additional damage. Just from them popping onto the screen, at minimum. So take your full damage and add 1.33 on top of that. That's at max distance away from you. Because the way that this was working was that the game would go, what is your total radius, and how close are you to 0? The idea was the closer that you got, the more damage bonus you got from having it. And that was supposed to support being in melee range and giving you a reason to get into melee range. And since it was 100 to 200%, according to the radius of the skill, literally just by being on your screen, at max range, you were getting anywhere between 30 to 50% additional damage. Now let's take it even further. How close would they have to be getting close to 100% of the damage? So, if 32 yards is your radius, just this one line, and here you're getting 50% of your total damage, here you're getting 75 additional damage on top of your radial damage. Here, you're getting 87% additional damage. And then here, you're getting close to 100% additional damage on your radial damage. You're literally not in melee range yet for some weapons, and you are already doing almost double your total radial damage when they are 2 yards away from you. Now, when people were asking, Is this too strong? Do they need to nerf it? Is this the intent? If you read the original intent of this, it is clear that it was supposed to be a buff to getting into melee range and to warrant being an elemental Zealer, or an elemental Chargedon, or an elemental Smiter, I guess? Not really, but you get the drill. But the way that the logic was working was giving you too much of an amazingly huge additional amount of damage. It wasn't that you were getting plus 100% skill damage, which is really not that much. Like, if you take the damage with full synergies, you were getting 658 damage per tick, which is pretty good, right? That's pretty good. But it's not just adding another 100% skill damage. Adding another 100% skill damage would do almost nothing, right? Because your synergies on Salvation alone are giving you 120 skill damage, and then your synergies on Resist Fire are giving you 360 skill damage. If you put them together, you're getting 480 skill damage. So if you just added another 100 onto that, that wouldn't really do that much. They were taking this number and doubling it. When people are asking me, is this too strong? My response was always no. This is just clearly not the intent. And I think it was very difficult to conceptualize, like, just how much benefit you were getting out of this, and why only Hand of Justice with the dual dragon setup was actually seeing this much of an increase. Because you have to understand the relationship between the skill radius and the total radius of a screen, to understand the fact that just by being on the screen, you were getting plus 50% total damage per tick. So that's why this wasn't working the way it was supposed to, according to the intent of the developers. Not according to what they implemented, but according to what they clearly wanted the benefit of this change to be. So I think them removing this component of it is bringing it back into line with what they wanted to do, which was just generally buff Holy Fire to make it more viable, and to make it more comparable to using something like Holy Shock or Holy Freeze for that survivability. But yeah, there you go. Just keep in mind, the dual dragon Hand of Justice setup is still better. It's just not gonna clear P1 cows before they even get anywhere near you, which I think is like the majority of this change right here. And that's what you really need to take away from this nerf. I wouldn't really say that this is even a nerf. It is them realizing that the implementation of their intent did not meet the functionality that they were hoping to see in-game. That's my 2 cents. But I hope that that helps to explain what was happening and why this was kind of so busted versus what it was supposed to do.